Okay, so I thought I'd give you a little tip of the day. Today we're going to go ahead and talk about what a particular icon does that controls the order in which the intros move into an arranger, and in particular, force arranger A to always play. So if we go into the View menu and we go to Chords, there's an option in here called Intro to Arranger A. So we're going to talk about that, but let me begin by talking about how the normal operation of the SD90 works. So normally what happens is you have 3 intros and you have 4 variations. And I'm going to go ahead and use key start on this so that whenever I press a chord on my right hand, it's going to commence playing whatever intro I've selected and whichever arranger I have selected as the transition between the intro to the arranger. So for example, I can select arranger 1 here. And so what will happen now is intro 1 will play and variation B will be entered upon the commencement of intro 1. So let me show you. So you'll see intro 1 played and then we went to arranger 3. Let's say that I wanted to do intro 1 and go to arranger 4. So I could, arranger C. So I could go ahead and I could select variation C, intro 1, and now when I press a chord, you'll see that it goes to variation C. I could also pick, for example, intro 3, and now intro 3, and you can see which intro is selected by looking up there on the screen in the upper left-hand corner. So now intro 3 is selected, and when intro 3 is completed, I'm going to go ahead into variation C. And you'll see that it did that. Now, what intro to arranger A, this icon does, is if I have it enabled, it now forces, no matter what the current state of the arranger variation is, or what the state was in the previously played performance, it will immediately go from any of the intros to arranger A. So normally, when we play, we start off our performance in arranger A. And so what's kind of nice about this is that this feature provides for the ability not to worry about what is currently selected. You can just press an intro and you know that every time you do that, the subsequent variation that plays will always be variation A. So let me show you. So now you'll see that variation C is selected. I'm going to go ahead and press intro 1. And so now with that icon enabled, what should happen is intro 1 is going to play, and immediately after that, arranger A is going to play. So let me press a chord here and show you. And you'll see that it did that. Same thing if I happen to be down here on variation D and I press intro 2. What should happen now is intro 2 should play, and then variation A will play, as opposed to variation D, which would play if that option or that icon was not enabled. And you'll see it goes right into arranger A. And then finally, same thing if I was, let's say, in arranger B and I pressed intro 3, it's going to play intro 3 and then go right into arranger A. So you see that it does provide an ability to make sure that the variation that is subsequent to an intro is always arranger A, no matter what the state of the current variations are set to, either because you've tried to set it or because of the way it was left over from the previous performance. So this can be a very nice feature and can take a little bit of thinking away from what you need to press before you begin your performance.